right. Jeez. Should have charged my phone a while back. Okay. Okay, Eden. You got Eden in the live. Okay. Just waiting for some more people to come in. Sheesh. Hopefully I'm not getting that bug again with my chat and stuff. Okay. The chat box is not popping up once again. I don't know why. Constantly got to look at my PC for that. My goodness. I don't know why it does this, man. It happens every time I go live off of my phone. I would go live off of my PC, but I don't have a cam. It's got to be some with the settings. I'm not saving it every time I get on here. My goodness. Learn more. Somebody type in a 1 in the chat. Just type a 1 so I can see if it pops up on my phone. No. I see it's not popping up on my phone, but it pops up on the PC. Okay. Because I hate to glance every time back and forth. did I do last time? Damn smartphones, man. This is bad. And it's just something small too, man. This drives me nuts. I don't get it. Somebody type in a 1 now. Let's see if it works now. Cross my fingers. Mm. Bam. Why is it not popping up? Thought I got it fixed there, but I guess not. I'm just gonna refresh this off my phone. 1 second here. Refresh. All right, how about a 2 in the chat? Let's see if this works. Fingers crossed. This is probably gonna work right here. This has got to work. $60. Yes, sir. It worked. Nice. Man, all of that for, oh my goodness. Thank God. So it's like a setting in my YouTube channel that I have to keep enabling and disabling because it's kid friendly. So like every time I have to go into my YouTube channel and like enable it for the chat to pop up. It's weird. I don't know. I don't get it. It's so windy outside. Holy smokes. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but it is windy. It is terrible. Holy smokes. Blowing out there. And that usually means it's building ice out there on the ponds and the lakes. That's one thing I'm excited for is the ice season to get here. Pop open the weather too. Let's see what we got cooking here. think it's supposed to be pretty chilly tonight. It's supposed to be 8 degrees tonight, so we're gonna be building some serious ice tonight. But those gusts of wind says up to 50 miles an hour is crazy. My goodness. 22 high, 13 low. Friday, 38 high, 23 low. And Saturday, fingers crossed, hopefully, if I can get up early on time to go scope out some safe ice here locally somewhere. But that temperature is Saturday high of 52. That's all I know is I want to be off of that ice. By the time it reaches like 50 degrees, I want to be off of that ice ASAP. And then Sunday, almost 60 degrees. Wow. Night temps are looking good though. Night temps are looking good. But then the daytime temps are what kills us. Everything's above freezing. What do we got? 46, 33, 38, 46, 45, 48, 42, 39, 36. So I'm hoping we'll probably be on the ice sometime in safe ice, if you want to consider safe ice, sometime in December. That's when we'll probably have some like safe ice. Late December. That's what I meant to say. Because we're in December right now. Holy smokes, I just remember that. Clearly looks good from what I've seen on Facebook. I seen that too. I seen that too, Kevin. There's actually been people catching some fish out there too. I've seen some locals travel up there, and I've seen some crappies, perch. Seen one good walleye come out of there too. Right, I think it was right off of the Macintosh boat ramp. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the Macintosh boat ramp. I don't know. There's something about that lake just drives me nuts. I don't know what it is because every time I've been up there, it's just been terrible for me. I'm always on the dink perch. I mean, it's a dink fest every time I'm up there. I have never caught a perch up there bigger than 10 inches. Yeah, I think it was Derek. Yep, I think I seen Derek up there. I think he was the one that was holding up that walleye up there off of the Macintosh boat ramp. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Derek holding the walleye. And there was like some nice perch too, and some big crappies look like. Yeah, hopefully this Saturday. I mean, hopefully that ice can hold up here locally. I got off work pretty early today. I went to a local pond here near me. I went to two that were really small ponds, like I mean, really tiny ponds. One of them produces nothing but gills and bass. The other one has bullheads. What else does it have? Gills, bass, some grass carp, and there was something else in there. I can remember. Hybrid bluegills. And I got 2 inches of ice, just 2 inches. So tonight into tomorrow and tomorrow night, it should be pretty good. You're going outside to throw out the trash. Don't get blown away, man. It's windy out there, but yeah, I'm hoping tonight that tomorrow into tomorrow and tomorrow night builds at least 1.5 inches. I don't see why not. I mean, one night of single digits. That should definitely put some kind of growth to the ice for sure. But yeah, that wind is pretty gnarly out there. It is horrible. I was at work today and oh my goodness. Sheesh. That was terrible. But yeah, hopefully this weekend I get to step a foot on the ice locally and not having to travel up north too far. But I'm looking. I know I haven't really been consistent with the YouTube channel posting videos just because I've been getting skunked. I've actually fished the river a few days ago, and that was horrible. I got skunked. Um, Guides were freezing as well, and that was kind of irritating as well. But then talked to a guy out there who recommended vegetable oil to put on your guides, and I was like, really? So I've never heard of that. As a fisherman, been fishing for what, over 20 years, 25 years, I should say. I have never heard of that trick. Never heard of vegetable oil on the guides. But that's something I'll definitely probably look into. Definitely gonna try that one of these days. Probably use one of my worst rods that I have, not any good ones. But he claimed that your guides won't freeze. So, but each time I've been out so far, it's just a skunk. It's been terrible. But yeah, so far I've been just kind of messing with my ice gear. You love gills, okay, okay. Yeah, but so far I've been just focusing my ice gear. I do have to run out. Probably do it tomorrow after work, maybe Friday after work. And I need a new battery for my Vex. It's shot. I've had the Vex for, uh, man, 6 years, 6, 7 years probably, and I haven't had to change the battery once yet. So, I mean, 6, 7 years, not having to get a new battery in that time, I think it's definitely due. Because in that time period, it's it's definitely gonna get shot eventually. Because that Vex just sits in my box right now, and it's original box. I usually unplug everything and make sure that the battery doesn't die out. But somehow battery died out, and that's okay. Batteries aren't too expensive. I think they're like 20, $30 or something like that. Shields, Fleet Farm, or whatever. I'm also gonna stock up on some ice gear as well. That's what I need to do. What's up, Adine? Yeah, 6, 7 years old. Yeah, that's long, man. It's very long. Like I haven't changed it in that time frame. Honestly, I still have the original battery. I mean, it's shot. Like every time I go to turn it on, it'll turn on for like a split second and just shut right back off. I even had it on the charger, uh, Tuesday night for like 2 hours. Took it off. Same thing. I'm like, yep, battery shot. It's time for a new one. The only thing I hate about getting a new battery is it's just like disassembling all of that, all the cords, and then you have to. There's like two screws where that little transducer holder is. You gotta pop those screws off to get to the battery. And once you pop off that piece, then you can easily remove the battery and whatnot. It's just hassle. It doesn't take long, but man. I also even thought about getting a new unit just so I can have two. I miss my old Markham Showdown. That's one I miss a lot. The little handheld units. Not the Gents pack. I got the Pearl pack. Actually, let me check as we speak. I think I got it here inside because I didn't take it back. Yeah, I didn't take it back to the garage. So yeah, this is the one right here, and that battery sits right back there. But yeah, that's the one I got. It's the this is the yeah, the 18. This is the 18. And boy, I've had this unit for a long time, very long, and it can definitely use a new one. I've been really considering get the live scope, but that's freaking expensive. That is so expensive. And the crazy thing about the live scope is like how often am I actually gonna use it? The only time I'll really have to use it is on the ice, and I can't really use it on the banks. So live scopes in tournaments is crazy. I don't know. Using a live scope in tournaments, it's like I wouldn't say it's not fair, and I wouldn't say it is fair. I mean, it's just personal preference, obviously. Like using the live scope in tournaments, it just helps you honestly visualize what you're kind of really fishing, like what kind of structures and whatnot. It's not going to tell you that hey, there's going to be a 15-pound largemouth, going to be a 40-plus inch muskie center. So I mean, it's just going to really detail your fishing underwater the way I see it. So I mean, live scopes in tournaments, like use it if you want, but beats me honestly. I haven't fished a tournament in a long time, so I can't really say anything. See, your dad got ours 25 years ago, and we've probably put only 3 batteries in each of them and 3 transducers. Sheesh. Yeah, see, that's crazy. Like owning Vexilars for that long and only having to change batteries a few times is that's how you know those units are pretty good. I honestly love Vex. I don't think I ever want to like change from a Vex when it comes to ice fishing, honestly. I definitely want to keep mine and just probably get another unit, like in case I have like a buddy that wants to tag along and let him use one of mine. But yeah, Vex is like honestly my favorite thing. It is. And then probably and coming second would probably be the handheld one, the Markham Showdown. It's just so easy to use. You can just wrap it around your neck and just hold it like a cell phone and just walk around, whole hopper really quick. But I feel like now the stores don't even sell those units anymore. I feel like you have to like shop online just to get one. At least I've never seen what's it called? Markham Showdown in stores in a while. Since I've had one, and that was like years ago. But yeah, Dean, you got me kind of thinking on that live scopes and tournaments. It's I don't know. A lot of people disagree with it, and a lot of people agree with it. I think it's just personal preference. Because you still got pro anglers who sit on their boats and don't even have live scopes, just have regular hummingbirds still, just chilling on the screens. But me as an angler, if I ever did tournaments, which I do want to get into tournaments again. I used to go with Danny all the time, and when we used to do our tournaments, it's like we would be the only people out there on that lake with not a legit bass boat, no electronics, just fishing blind, and having probably the most garbage fishing gear possible. And like, I don't even know how to explain it to you. Like, it's tough, you know. Like the boat we were sitting on, um, as he called it, the SS Minnow, and it's a Sun Dolphin. It's like a Sun Dolphin Pro or something like that. I'm outmatched. What do you mean by that? Yeah, dude, yeah, that's just how it is. That's literally how it is when it comes to fishing, dude. Like our very first tournament we did was, um, man, what lake was that, man? It was a lake out in western Iowa, about an hour and a half away. It wasn't a huge lake at all, and you have all these locals coming in with these freaking like nice bass boats, and then here come me and Danny pulling down the boat ramp, with casual gear, a little $1,000 bow with a 10 horse freaking Johnson motor. I'm like, oh man! And you look at the other boats, it's like, hey, there's a $50,000 bass boat there, a $30,000 one there. It's just like, dang, okay. I use Mega Live on boat, and you can definitely tell if they like your presentation. Yes, that too. I didn't even get a chance to mention that. Yeah, of course, I agree with that too. Yeah, the presentation for sure. I can highly agree with that. But then at the same time, like when you like, even if you didn't have Mega Live on the boat, and like if you weren't getting hit within, let's just say, like 5 minutes on a crankbait, you would think right away, like, hey, don't I need to change baits to something more aggressive, or maybe slow down my presentation and try out a soft plastic or maybe a top water and see what they hit. You know what I mean? Because once you find that like pattern of what they want, that's something like you'd be throwing out, don't you think? Like personally, like me, I've only seen a live scope four or five times maybe. One of my buddies has one, and it's when we went ice fishing no, not last year. Jeez, 2 or 3 years ago. Like it was pretty cool to see like how the channel cats would move in and whatnot. Yeah, yep, exactly. But yeah, like we were out at Purple Martin and using a live scope. What we really did with that, excuse me, was we kind of just used it to find our shad. And once we found our shad, we were praying that there was probably some dead ones that would probably sink down to the bottom. And then once we scoped on the shad, we would drill holes in that area and the next thing you know, you would move that transducer around until you would see fish on the bottom just cruising slow, and I'm like, hey, that's got to be some channels. So that's when we posted up our rods and would cut up small chunks of little minnows and just let it sink down there. And then yeah, it was cool watching the channels eat on live scope. I enjoyed watching that. But then like other fish like your panfish, crappie, bluegill through the ice, and like bass or whatever, it's whatever to me. On a live scope, I should say. But yeah, if I had a boat, yes, I would get a live scope. But since I'm a boatless angler and I fish 90% of the time on the shore, I don't really need one. If I need a live scope, I'll just dive in that water head first and I'll look around with some goggles. That's my live scope. Does purple martin have decent gills in it? They're okay. There's a lot of sorting to do. Um, we every time we'd go out there, we would catch them by accident, actually, and not like target them. It was more a lot of crappies out there. I mean, a crap ton. A lot of channel cats. There is also some giant wipers in there. I've got my line broken right in the edge of the hole, and I've seen some big wipers. White bass as well. What else do they have? Crap ton of carp, obviously, and gar. Um, there is some flyheads in there as well, and I think that's mainly it. Tons of shad though, tons of shad. But if you're gills, it's if you catch them, is it's like a big sorting thing you have to do. The biggest one I think I caught out of there would have been that day where targeting channels was about like a 6.5 inch gill. And I used it for bait, honestly. I ended up cutting him into little pieces for the channels, and it was doing pretty good. But I think one place I want to try for sure would be I want to do like Moffat Lake. That water is so like gin clear. I love fishing that place. They also got like some really big perch in there too. I've actually caught quite a bit on my kayak. It's been some time, but all my perch will let go. I never keep anything from there. I've even caught some like huge crappies out of there. I think the biggest I caught out of there would have been almost a 15-inch crappie out of there. I answered you. Moffat, it's been a while since I fished it, but it's it's still got its perch population for sure. I had a buddy go there last year. He sent me a few pictures out of there. He was like in the very far back of the lake. He said he marked some like crazy structure underwater, and he was in like 20, 27, 28 feet of water. And he said there was just a bunch of structure, tons of snags. He said, but he's like, if you can get around the snags, like right on the edge, he's like, you can pull out a perch or two, and he's like, he even caught some decent gills as well. Used to be great, but yeah, it's been a hot minute for me too. It's been a while. So it's like that's how I feel. Moffat is like a big creek to me. It's every time I go out to Big Creek, it's oh my goodness, it's a shit show out there. I see all these people catching like wipers through the ice, channels through the ice, big crappies, and then you got the experienced ones who pull out like some giant like walleyes, like 22 inchers, and I'm just like, dude, where are you guys fishing at? Because every time I go out there, I think I'm marking shad. I don't think I'm marking fish. I'm marking bait fish. I'm hoping this ice sticks around though for a little bit. This ice needs to definitely stick around. Because I already looked at the forecast, and it's. Yeah, Big Creek was fired before they lowered it and redone the lake. See, I never knew what Big Creek looked like before the when it was redone and all that. I don't know what it looked like. I honestly try avoiding that lake just because I have no idea what I'm getting into when I go out there. I'm on shore too, so like all the shore spots are obviously hit pretty hard by shore fishermen. But then you get the ones on boat who, you know, control around the lake and get to experience and find those structures and where the fish hang out and whatnot. But yeah, I was looking at the weather. Oh man, it's I don't know. Those day temps are they're horrible. Night temps, night temps for the next 2 days are promising. Saturday morning might be a man. I don't know. It's like a 50-50 right now. If it actually gets down to 8 degrees tonight, and then if it stays below freezing tomorrow, how it says Thursday 21 degrees if it actually stays 21, and then tomorrow night at 11 degrees. Then you have Friday night at 20 degrees. Should build somewhat safe ice. No ice is safe, but you get what I'm trying to say. No ice is safe. But I should be able to film something this Saturday, I hope. Got my fingers crossed. I'm going to be pretty upset if I don't get any footage Saturday. That's just something I miss. Like, ice fishing only comes once a year, obviously. And I felt like last year, it didn't stick around that long, if I'm wrong. I feel like we had ice for like a month and it was just gone. It was like a month and a half and it was just gone. Or was that the year before? I can't even remember. All right, sounds good. I'll let you know when I'm done with this and I'll be there too. It was a short ice season. Yeah, see, that's the only thing that like it upsetted me last year. I think it was last year. That was a short season. It was terrible. I think I got on also like a few times. I think it was like 2 or 3 times and that was it. It was horrible. Actually, yeah, it was last year because I took out my oldest daughter out to Patoka for the trout release during the ice. And Patoka had it was 11 inches of ice. And we were out there and she ended up catching her first trout through the ice, which was a pretty cool experience watching her reel that in. And I think that was the last time we went out, was that day at Patoka. It was just, ice was just crumbling after that. But hopefully this year's ice is a lot better than last year's. I'm hoping it is. Less snow and more cold. That's what we need. I seen also the Great Lakes are doing pretty good with ice too. Okoboji, West Okoboji had 5 inches in some spots. The main lake had 2 inches, which is crazy, and some of the spots were open due to the geese. Um, there was other spots too. Spirit, I think, had 3 inches in some spots. Some had four, and then others had like 2 inches as well. I'm just surprised here locally, here in Des Moines, that we actually got some somewhat good ice. I should say, I wouldn't say good, but somewhat decent ice. Because after tonight and tomorrow night, I think it should be ready to go. If you can find yourself a tiny, tiny little pond, you might be able to fish it. Patoka used to have 12-inch perch and big eels and crappie in it 20 years ago. Speaking of perch, we actually caught one last year out there. It wasn't big. Um, it was like 9 inches. And then we've also seen 3 or 4 come up to the camera. We've caught plenty of gills, decent sized gills as well. They weren't massive, not 10 inches by any means, but 7, 8 inch gills. We've caught plenty of crappie too, actually. I have the photos on my phone. They weren't big by any means. 8 to 9 inch crappies as well. Yeah, I remember Patoka one year was good. One of my very first videos on YouTube, which was 13 years ago, I think, or maybe 14 years ago. It was me and a good buddy of mine, Samir. We were fishing out there, and that's one of my first videos I shot. And believe it or not, we were catching wipers out of there on live minnows. We were catching wipers out of there, and the wipers were actually pretty decent size. I mean, like anywhere from like 3 to 4 pounders. But I just feel like all these lakes here, local lakes, are just getting hit really hard year by year. You almost gotta like find your own little honey hole and just keep it on the low, not tell anybody. I wish they would allow ice fishing at the what are those called? Oh boy. I can't even think of the name. It's like a tip of my tongue. They're pits. They're public pits. Colfax. There it is. Colfax pits. The one where they rent kayaks. I wish they would allow ice fishing there. I don't think you're allowed to ice fish that, but they got some big crappies in there. One year I went out there on my kayak before I sold my kayak. It was me and 2 buddies of mine. Every crappie we caught was 12 and over, and it was a blast. I mean, and it was during crappie spawn as well. And biggest one that day was 14 3/4, and I didn't catch that one. My buddy caught that one, and I was like, man, there's some big freaking slabs in here. We ended up catching some nice yellow bass out of there too. Some healthy ones, and surprisingly, they weren't a bunch of them. It was just like you catch one, and maybe like 20 minutes later you'll catch another one. So it wasn't like overpopulated like how Clear Lake is. Man, my allergies are killing me. But yeah, hopefully this weekend there should be a video up. I just need to I need to start recording more videos in one day. That way I just have videos already saved that I can edit and post. But Saturday, fingers crossed, there should be an ice fishing video for Sunday. I hope. And we are already 46 minutes into the live stream. Holy smokes. Dang, time flies. Yeah, 40. I'll message you later on a place to go that has good gills, crappies, and catfish. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, if you ever have any questions too, just let me know. Always holler. I'm always looking to help somebody out, whether it's fishing related or not fishing related. I'm always trying to help somebody out. Trust me, I know what it's like to not receive any help. So I like every time I get on social media, look at fish pictures and whatnot. I mean, there's just tons of rude people out there. It's a little off the beaten path, so it doesn't get fish much. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you ever want to know spots too, man, just always send me a private message through Facebook or I have an Instagram as well. You can check out that you can send private messages through. But like I said, like there's times where I go look at fish pictures on Facebook and whatnot, and there's just so many rude people on there. Like some people ask, "Where was the?" Like, "Hey, where'd you catch the fish?" So I'd be like, "In the water," or "In the lip." Like we get it, Just we're not asking for a honey hole, but just a little tip would be nice. That's why I don't really post too much anymore on those pages. If I do post, it's just to share a photo that I've caught. And if somebody asks where the spot is, you can get the spot. I really don't care. Because eventually that spot is going to get fished, whether it's a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, somebody's going to figure out that spot and fish it. Like Google Maps is like my best friend when it comes to fishing. So like if I'm on my phone, like especially like during work hours when I'm on my phone during lunch break, I'm always scouting out some kind of bodies of water. And like I travel for work too, so if I see a body of water or like just anything, even if I'm like at a homeowner's house and whatnot, like if they have to have a private pond, I'll ask them too, like, hey, do you mind if I come fish it? I actually got permission to fish one. I haven't fished it yet. She said they have monstrous gills in there. She says the biggest gill that's been recorded at her private pond was 13 inches, and I'm like, that's a freaking tank of a bluegill. Like I would mount that thing. 13 inches is big for a bluegill. That's huge. She says she's got some big crappies in there too, huge channels, and she also said that she's got very few little yellow perch left. Not very many. So she's like, if you ever catch any, please release them. I was like, of course. So yeah, if I'm trying to see if she'll let me ice fish it this year. She didn't let me last year due to liabilities and whatnot. So if she lets me this year, I'm gonna have to let her know, like, I'll be safe. If anything happens, it's on me. It's not on you. We're 50 minutes into live. Holy smokes! All right. Well, we're 50 minutes in. I think I'm gonna call it here. We're almost at an hour. Yeah, I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna go grab something to eat actually and kick back, watch some TV now. But for those who were in here, I appreciate you guys so much. Kevin, appreciate you too, man. Love you guys a ton. I really appreciate you guys. This was a fun live. Like I said, I'm gonna start doing these every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. or whatever. Or sometimes it might even be 6 p.m. But I'm kind of leaning more towards a 7 p.m. But yeah, of course, yeah, likewise, man. Kevin, you have a good night too, and just keep an eye out. Hopefully, this Saturday, there's gonna be a video for you guys to watch. So appreciate you guys again, and hopefully we'll catch you guys on the next live next Wednesday again at 7. So peace out, guys. Peace.